You are now listening to the HBCU Wall Street podcast.
Good afternoon. How are you, Cheylaina? How are you today?
I'm good, Rashad. Thank you so much for having me on your show today. I really appreciate you reaching out, and I'm excited for us to get into this.
Well, great. Me too. Me too. So I'm going to tell the audience a little bit about you. So Cheylaina is a wife. She's a mom of three. She's an entrepreneur. She's a talk show host. She's a published author, the founder of and CEO of HBCU Legacy Fashion. She graduated in 2008 from North Carolina A&T, of course, where she pledged Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. She's also a graduate of Goldman Sachs' inaugural Black in Business program. And with graduating from A&T, your degree was in journalism and mass communication with a concentration in journalism and electronic media. Now, today she resides in Columbus, Ohio with her family, and we're going to learn a little bit more about who Cheylaina is and what she's doing. So you've done a lot. You're very accomplished. I looked at the bio and immediately I was like, yes, she got to be an Aggie. So
Aggies do.
Yeah, got to be an Aggie. That's all of this. And so let me ask you this, just starting off from everything that you've done in the business world, or even in life, what is your proudest accomplishment?
Oh, man. Well, I'm actually going through that right now. So when I was in the Goldman Sachs program last May through July, they really had us focus in on writing some SMART goals out. And one of the goals I wrote was to be in some major department stores, major retail. And 4 months later, they found me. One of the companies found me at a pop-up shop at the Aggie Eagle Classic in Charlotte. And now onboarding for and I don't want to tell you the name of the company because I got to wait because we're going to be in the department store in the fall. So now I'm like, this is so big. It's crazy because there's so much I just did not know about going into retail and major department store. But HBC Legacy Fashion is currently onboarding with a department store. And we've been working with our manufacturer and they're getting the production ready. We have a whole schedule. And so right now I'm like, wow, like how did I get here? So it's very powerful to write out your goals. I'll say that.
Absolutely. Let me tell you something that I love about what you just said. Like being a creative, being a business owner, just being a person. Like you could tell when people are doing things just because they're doing it. And then you can tell when people are really passionate about things. And just hearing you talk about it, I'm like, oh, she is so excited. She's so passionate about that. Like, I know this is going to be big. It feels like you really have your heart and soul invested in this.
I do. And Rashad, like it's been so crazy because there's been so many like ups and downs and lows and highs with the whole process. I had to speak to myself and speak to the doubt and the fear because I'm like, well, I'm not even a big brand yet. I'm not like this, I'm not that. This is so hard. Like I got to get all these barcodes and stuff together. Like, what am I doing? It's just like so much that I didn't know that goes into going into like a department store. And as I'm trying to grow my team and, bring people on to help me, I'm like, okay, I'm going to need a warehouse now. I'm going to need all of these things. So it's been like some highs and lows, but we're working through this.
Got it. Great. I'm excited to hear and see the progress, though. And I know this is a big step for you. So I'm proud of you. I'm happy for you in this step. So let me ask you this. So what separates, HBCU Legacy Fashion from other collegiate brands?
Oh, I'm glad you asked that because in 2019, I had the vision for this business, but it wasn't until 2020 that I actually decided to launch it during the pandemic while pregnant with my third child and my 3-year-old at home. My husband were locked down with the 1.5-year-old, 3-year-old. I'm pregnant. And one day I woke up and I was like, I need to start that business. I had this idea to start a business to make children's clothing that remind you of like a Gap Kids or Justice for Girls, but for HBCU clothes, because all I see now are t-shirts and onesies, but I want fun stuff like this.
So that's fly.
Like little jackets for little girls. So my kids, I always dress them really cute, and everyone used to always ask me, where do you get their clothes? They would message me on Facebook, like, where are you shopping for your little girl and your son? You dress him like a little man. And so I've always loved fashion. And so I wanted to create HBCU clothes that weren't just like oh, a t-shirt, a sweatshirt, something that'll soon fade once you wash it, but a product that would last and something that could be passed down. Once your kid grew out of it, you'll keep it in the family, and like your grandkid can have this cute little denim jacket. It's classic. And so during the pandemic, when I had I remembered about that idea that I had. Actually, we were getting our stimulus checks. And I was like, I'm about to use this to start this business. And my husband was like, what are you talking about? So I ran downstairs the night before. My kids had been playing in my office and they were in my desk. They took all the papers out of my desk, had them all over the floor. But when I went downstairs, I wanted to find the application that I had printed out the year before. It was on top of those papers, like just sitting on top of the pallet. I didn't have to look for it. It was like right there. And so it was like, that was my sign, like, start this business. So I wanted to start a business that I could be able to give back to the schools. I didn't want to just, some people, they just print off t-shirts and stuff with Aggie logos or any other school logo, and they're not even licensed.
Right.
So I wanted to be able to give back to the school in a certain way, but I also wanted to connect youth to the historic legacy of HBCUs and to extend the legacy of your HBCU. So if you're a parent, no matter what school you went to, and you want your child to know more about your HBCU and your college, you're starting with them young. So you're teaching them through the clothes. Every package I send, I have a postcard in there that has a QR code for them to be able to go to my website and learn more about their favorite HBCU and click on that page. So it's like a learning experience. I'm using fashion to teach them about HBCUs.
That is huge because HBCUs have meant so much to the culture. HBCUs have produced some of the most amazing and brightest minds and amazing people that I've ever seen before. Now, really quick, I'm excited. Like, you showed me that jacket. I was like, oh, I got to cop one of those. Where can people get some of this?
Yeah, so you can go on the website, hbculegacyfashion.com. We're also on Instagram at HBCU Legacy Fashion if you just wanted to tap on a product and it'll take you straight to the website. But yeah, hbculegacyfashion.com.
Got it. I'm definitely going to have to do some shopping after this is over. Now, you talked about
too.
Oh.
It has like that on the sleeves, the Aggie born and Aggie bred. So February 1 is coming up.
Yes.
Have your student go to school in their A&T sweatshirt.
Absolutely. I'm definitely going to make sure mine have it. Like, listen, February 1 is what you need to be rocking. All right. You don't have a choice. But so let me ask you this. You have so many things that you've done, so many things that you're excited about. And I know you just said, I mean, that is amazing that you're going to be in a major department store soon. What else are you? Well, it seems like you wouldn't have any room for doing anything else, but how much time is that taking up? And does it allow for anything else to be done for you to focus on at the moment this year?
Okay, so that's a very good question because I'm the type of person in the past, and I've learned this, I think maybe 2 years ago, I decided I'm only going to focus on one thing at a time because before I'm such a creative and I'll literally have like so many, I could start a business on giving you a business idea because I have so many that just run in my head all the time. I'm like, God, turn it off, like, please. And so I had to focus in and say, you know what, Cheylaina, if you really want to be successful in a business, then you're going to have to focus on that business and let it get to a point of growth. And then you can add on. Kind of like, I use this analogy. Someone invited me to be in their magazine. I was just writing my piece yesterday, and I used the analogy of a pizza shop. What are they known for? They're known for pizza. Pizza Hut is known for pizza. Domino's is known for pizza. Papa John's is known for pizza. Okay, but do they also have other things they offer? Wings, subs, salads? Yes, they do. But did they start off with that? No, they got their secret sauce and they made sure that their sauce was good for their pizza and their pizza was the bomb. And they grew that and they made sure that, their target audience enjoyed what they had to offer before they offered them more. So I'm taking that concept right now and I'm focusing on getting my products into retail, growing my brand, attending more homecomings this year so that I can be able to actually scale and grow to the point that I want to be at. And so right now I'm focusing just on HBCU Legacy Fashion.
Great. I understand. So I can understand that totally because being a creative, like being a creative, your mind can be all over the place. Like I got ideas for days. Like ideas just pop. I'm like, but you're right. Sometimes the struggle is, okay, Rashad, focus on this idea. And that's it. Like, don't do anything else but this right now. So I definitely understand that.
Yeah.
speaking of homecoming, I'm excited because I can just imagine homecoming is going to be a big time for you, a big time for HBCU Legacy Fashion. You know, we just had an event, Aggies Excel, where what we're doing is we're highlighting, it's a part of what we're doing with this podcast. We're highlighting successful Aggies. We're highlighting entrepreneurs. We're highlighting business aspect, the underlying entrepreneurial business aspect of Aggies that are just doing great things. And we're trying to bring those Aggies together and help them network. And even from the last Aggies Excel, I've worked with so many different businesses that I met there. We're able to partnership and do different things together. And so I'm excited about that. We're also this year we're working with the university to help promote it and add a bigger spotlight to all of amazing Aggies such as yourself as well. So I'm excited about getting everybody else to know what I already know. Like Aggies produce some of the best people you will ever meet. Aggies produce some of the best business owners. Like it's time for the world to see.
Yes, I love that. And yes, homecoming. So this was this past year was my first time vending at homecoming because I started the business during the pandemic. Of course, we didn't have homecoming in 2020, and then 2021 I did like the virtual vending. I didn't go to Greensboro, but last year I did, and it was amazing. And I'm like, if you have a product, like you need to be at the Sheraton because Sheraton. And I have never even been to the Sheraton for like to look at the vending. I just never went over there, and I didn't know it was like that, but it's like that. So I did a good job there. Yeah.
Oh, great! You're right. It's like that from the Sheraton to even certain places. You know, the pop-up shops that they have now for homecoming is so amazing. Like let me ask you this: we're talking about homecoming. If you could explain, because I always ask people, as an Aggie, you know, but if you could explain GHO to someone that has no idea what it is, how would you explain it to them?
Oh my gosh, it's like a big family reunion. It's a cookout. It's all of the things. It's a place where you go and you're just happy to see everyone. Maybe you didn't really talk to that person in college. You didn't really know them like that, but you still giving them a hug and you're dapping them up and you're excited to see them. It's just a place to come back and enjoy, you know, the people that you went to school with, the people that are currently in school. Like, you know, you're meeting people that you may not have known while you were in school, but now you're meeting some new Aggies. And so, you know, Absolutely. It's a place to connect. You know what's funny? It's a place for people who didn't even go to A&T to connect, because when I was vending at the Sheraton, I used to live in North Carolina, and I saw a lady there from my old church. And I was like, I didn't know you went to A&T. And she was with her new husband. And she's like, oh, I didn't go. I was like, oh, did your husband go? She said, no. And I said, oh, well, where'd you guys meet? What are you doing here? She's like, we met here at the Sheraton. We just came to A&T's homecoming. So I was like, okay, now, ladies, if you looking for a man, you better come to the Sheraton for homecoming. Because she met at the alumni ball. Like, she got tickets. And neither one of them were Aggies. So,
wow.
That's husband and wife there.
Hey, that's amazing. A&T does so much. Yeah, GHO will do so much for you. It's amazing that I also know so many people that never went to A&T. Like some of my friends that would see on the regular, one of my really close friends, he's at, GHO all the time. And we were sitting and talking, and somebody was like, hey, when did you graduate? He was like, well, I was here around in these years. It's like, what was your major? He's like, oh, I didn't go here. It's like, but you're here all the time. He's like, yeah, he's an honorary Aggie. So I understand totally.
We do have honorary Aggies, and we let them be honorary Aggies. Yeah. You literally feel like, wait, I thought we went to college together. Oh, you didn't? Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's okay.
Right.
You know something? So I ask a lot of people on this podcast the same question about GHO. And it's crazy how similar the answers are. Family reunion is also always a word that comes up. The family reunion, the cookout, the big 3, 4, 5 day party, like all of those things are so synonymous. I've never been to a place where I've seen so many Black people in one place at the same time, all having a good time with no drama. It's just all love. Like you really feel like you have a huge family. Like I walked up to people, I walked up to tailgates, and just because they was the Aggies, they fed me and everything else. It's an amazing experience. Amazing.
Yes, get you a good fish plate. Yep.
Yes, that fried fish is what it is. Like I live for that for homecoming.
Listen, that new side fish, used to be the bomb. I know you're like, hey, I'm out for new, but yes, that fish on cute fly.
They all right. But yes, so let me ask you this: what do you what do you look forward to when you just said the fish? Is the fish what you look forward to the most of all, just to eat around Jiho?
No. Yes, I'm a foodie, so I do like to eat, but that's not what I'm looking forward to the most. Honestly, I love to come back and see all my line sisters. This is year 16 for us. So being able to see friends I went to college with, sorority sisters who I don't see. I live in Ohio now, so we're just all spread out in different states. So it's just a place to come back and be with your closest girlfriends or, guy friends or whoever. So
Wow, amazing. Wow. You just made me feel not so young. It's like you and your line sister celebrating your 16. So me and my LBs, this year we're gonna celebrate 25 years. Like,
amazing.
I'm excited. Like I don't feel like I'm that old. I'm like 25
because
years.
that black don't crack.
It doesn't. I'm still a young tender.
Because I'm like, I was just 19 the other day. Like, how did I become almost 36? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm like, no, I remember turning 30. Like I was just 30. I don't know what happened.
Exactly.
Hey,
Man, before I was feeling the same way, like, oh my gosh, 16 years. Like that feels like we're getting close to 20.
Yeah, I remember 16 years. I was like, that's every year I'm like, wow. But it just makes me appreciate it. Like I'm not getting old at all. I'm just getting seasoned.
Right.
But I appreciate it. I appreciate it so much. So let me ask you this. If you just to talk about Cheylaina and who she is, like you have a lot going on, amazing things. I mean, business-wise, family-wise. If somebody said, okay, Cheylaina, take a break. I need you to take a break. And this weekend is all about you and you alone. What would you do? It has to be totally about you. What would you do? Where would you go? What would you see? What would it look like?
I'm gonna be on somebody's island, like reading a really good book, because I'm kind of like a nerd in that way. I love a book, a good book. So I'm about to be reading stuff. I'm like a kid in a candy store when it comes to like books. Like, oh, I want that book, I want that book. And so I'm gonna be on somebody's beach, and then I'm gonna go over to the spa, get me a nice massage, and I need my chocolate covered strawberries to go along with it.
Gotcha. Sounds amazing. You really try to relax. I feel you.
Yes, for these kids.
Hey, the beach is where it is. I was just telling somebody else, I was like, listen, the beach, like the water is just so so invigorating. It's so relaxing. It's so calming. I feel like, especially when I'm in the real creative space as an artist, when things get hectic, I feel like that's where I go for my reset. Like if I just need a reset just to get my thoughts, I'm like, yo, just put me by some water. I'll be all right.
Yeah, I just love hearing the waves like crash. Just it's very relaxing. So.
Absolutely. So with HBCU Legacy Fashion about to be the biggest HBCU centered fashion line in the universe. That's what's about to happen, if they didn't know. So with that on the horizon, what do you want things to look like down the road? Like where do you envision this line going?
Okay, so a couple of things. I definitely want to continue to get into more department stores and other retail spaces. I like to have my own standalone shop, but not just that, I still want to be able to give back. So I do have a scholarship fund that I started a couple of years ago, nonprofit 501c3, and I want to grow that. So I want to be able to do more than just offer fashion. I want to be able to offer scholarships. And so I can see us having galas, the HBCU Legacy Gala, and, inviting major people who went to HBCUs to raise funds for students, like not just students in America, but I want to also give students in the Caribbean and Africa a chance to come over to the United States to have education, a full ride. A lot of them, I've done missions trips. I have family from the Caribbean. I've been in Africa, and like it's crazy how some of the two they never even stepped foot outside of where they live. And it would be amazing just to be able to give them the education that they deserve. And so with the scholarship fund and having the galas and all the fundraising that we could do, we could just really turn things around for our people in America and our Black people across the seas.
That is amazing. Y'all heard it here first. Understand Cheylaina is about to bring 20 people from Africa and the Caribbean on full scholarship in the next couple of years. And we put it out there. I love that. I love that mentality because here, what we're doing, what I'm doing in conjunction with HBCU Wall Street, we also have a scholarship fund that we've created. And we're also, the proceeds of everything we do from Aggies Excel is going to go, back to the university. We're actually partnering with the university to help, bolster certain things in that area. So definitely love the mindset, like definitely appreciate that.
We got to partner together then and make that happen. So there's the chapter for the Columbus Aggies here in Ohio, and I've started talking to the chapter president here about, let's just all get together and work on this gala and work on raising the funds for students here. We'll start at home, of course, and get the students here into school. So yeah, we're
definitely gonna have to talk about that. That's something we're definitely planning on the horizon. But it's amazing to meet new Aggies. It's crazy because I tell people, I'm like, listen, when you meet an Aggie, it's like you're meeting one of your long lost cousins that you used to know, but y'all lost touch, but you just pick right back up where you left off. Like, people could jump on here and be like, oh, these two people, they must know each other. No, it's that Aggie pride. It's that Aggie pride.
And that is so true. Like, I'll meet people and it's like, wait, I already know. I've known this person forever. It just feels like it. Like, we're just talking naturally. Like, I feel like I know you because we have so much in common, like just by being graduates of North Carolina A&T State University. So yeah, you're right about that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I appreciate you. I appreciate your time. I appreciate, the effort that you're putting into making the world a better place. Like, and this is coming from, of course, a fellow entrepreneur, a fellow author, a fellow, big dreamer that wants to change the world and has all these visions for making it better for our people. I appreciate the work that you've done because I've done it and I understand how hard it is. I understand how much time, and I know there were a few sleepless nights. I know you saw 2, 3 in the morning on a regular basis sometimes. Like, I know what the life is like. And so I appreciate you putting in the effort and making this a reality.
Man, I really appreciate you just, reaching out, you and your team reaching out and highlighting HBCU Legacy Fashion and what we're going to be doing. I really appreciate that. And I can't wait to partner with you guys. I can just see a lot of things that we could do in the future together.
Absolutely. Let's do it. Let's make it big. Now, tell people again. So listen, if you want some of the fly gear that HBCU Legacy Fashion has, tell people where they can find it again.
Just go to hbculegacyfashion.com. And we're also on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, all the places at HBCU Legacy Fashion.
Absolutely. Listen, you all get you some HBCU Legacy Fashion. I'm definitely going to get some, but I appreciate the conversation. Thank you for your time. And I'm going to let you get back to changing the world. And I will talk to you again soon. All right, take care.
Ambitious, audacious, creative, HBCU educated, fearless, original, unapologetic entrepreneur investor. That's a great shirt.
HBCUWallStreet.com.